extremely hot weather is invariably associated with a lifeless desert. However, not all desert areas of our planet can claim the title of the hottest regions. There are many cities where people have been living for hundreds of years. Some regions with high temperature became attractions of global importance. Those are very popular among tourists. It would be difficult to determine the hottest place on the planet exactly because large-scale research in this area has begun quite recently. Many important discoveries in the field of climate anomalies are now possible thanks to modern technology. Those who aren't afraid of sultry weather are sure to visit one of the hottest places on the planet, as each of them has its amazing features. According to recent research, the hottest spot on the planet is in the Middle East. We are talking about Ashdod Lut, a large salt desert. Recently, satellites have managed to record a new temperature on their territory. The air is warmed up to 70.72 degrees centigrade. Scientists quickly found a logical explanation of such a climatic phenomenon. One of the main distinguishing features of Lut Desert is its dark landscape. In the daytime, it actively absorbs sunlight, and therefore achieving temperature records for this area is a rule rather than the exception. Abnormally high temperatures may be encountered not only in the vast desert, but in some cities. A good example is the Libyan city of El Azaziyah, situated on Zephyr Sahel Plateau, near the eponymous desert. Its temperature record has been placed a long time ago, on September 13, 1922. That day the temperature in the city warmed up to 57.7 degrees centigrade. One of the most interesting attractions of Ethiopia is the town of Dalal. Today it's uninhabited, but 50 years ago there was a large settlement. Its inhabitants have been developing ore deposits found nearby. Dalal also has an extremely hot and dry climate. Active monitoring of temperature changes were held there from 1960 to 1966. During this time, it was found that the average annual temperature in the town is 34.4 degrees centigrade. Oases are usually considered life-saving beacons in the desert, as they save you from sweltering heat. Contrary to popular belief, Kabylie Oasis in Tunisia is among the hottest places on the planet. Despite the presence of lush trees and relative shade, the temperature here often rises to 55 degrees centigrade, which is pretty impressive even by African standards. The legendary Death Valley is one of the outstanding natural attractions of the United States. It's situated in the Mojave Desert. Local temperature record recorded here in 1913 was 56.7 degrees centigrade. Surprisingly, Death Valley features various inhabitants. Here you can find not only numerous types of insects and lizards, as the desert is home to foxes and bobcats, rodents and bugs. Many curious tourists are eager to get to the valley in the rainy season. Even a minimal amount of precipitation is able to breathe life into seeds sleeping in the desert soil for years. After the rain, grass and flowers appear in some areas of the valley. China also has an area that is unique in terms of high temperature. Famous Flame Mountain is a part of Tian Shan. This place is distinguished by a number of unique features. Beautiful mountains of red sandstone cut by deep ravines really resemble flames. They are scorching in the truest sense of the word. In 2008, temperature record of 66.8 degrees centigrade was placed in mountains. Amazing city of Timbuktu is considered the center of origin of Islam in Africa. Since ancient times it has been at the crossroads of important trade routes. Surrounded by desert landscapes, Timbuktu is one of the hottest cities in the world, as the temperature here can reach up to 55 degrees centigrade. This fact doesn't bother numerous tourists visiting the city in search of amazing sights and new experiences. Badlands is a desert region in Australia that didn't differ with temperature records. As that's uninhabitable wasteland, it hasn't been studied for a long time. Extensive investigation of this area began only after 2000, and a new record of global significance didn't keep waiting long. In 2003, the air temperature at Badlands warmed up to 69.3 degrees centigrade. Data was provided by NASA satellite. Religious kibbutz Tirat Tzvi is situated in Israel, on the vast territory of the Beit Shean Valley. Temperature record was placed there in 1942, in the midst of hot summer air warmed up to 53.9 degrees centigrade. Despite these natural anomalies, people have been living in the settlement for hundreds of years and have learned to escape from a perilous heat. Their homes are equipped with tents, in the shade of which it's always possible to shelter from the hot sun. Ponds situated around the settlement also help local residents. Almost a third of the Arabian Peninsula is occupied by Rub al Khali Desert, and its hottest area is situated in Saudi Arabia. Temperature record, which was placed in the desert, was 56 degrees centigrade. Taking into account that no more than 35 millimeters of rainfall fall in the desert yearly, this fact doesn't seem surprising. Rub al Khali Desert is considered one of the most inclement on the planet. Food researchers succeeded to overcome it for the first time only in 2013. Desert area of 650,000 square kilometers is situated in 4 different states: Saudi Arabia, Yemen, UAE and Oman. Australian town of Oodnadatta is situated to the south of the continent, near the Simpson Desert. According to the last census, about 300 people live in the territory of this miniature town, more than 30% of whom are local Aborigines. First traveler, who visited the deserted city, was a Scot, John McDowell Stewart. That significant event happened in 1859.